Today we're going to be making a ginger bug or a ginger tonic drink, which is essentially just fermented ginger using cane sugar and some water. And so this is super simple, and it's made even more simple recently when I realized that you can do this without even having to grate the ginger. So you're going to need about 4 or 5 inches of ginger, just chopped up into little pieces. And then you're going to just simply mix it with sugar. So let's take a moment to chop this up. And when you're chopping this up, know that you're keeping the skin on this. And ideally, you're going to be using organic ginger. When you don't have organic ginger, it means the ginger has been treated, and it often starts to take away the bacteria that we actually need for the fermentation process. So if you do this and you don't really get much fermentation, try again with organic ginger and you're probably going to have more luck. So you'll see that we've cut this up into kind of like centimeter size cubes. As I said, you can grate this. I spent the first year of making this recipe grating it before I realized that you can do it this way, which is a lot easier to prepare and also a lot easier when you want to strain it out. So once you've got your little pieces of ginger, we're just going to go ahead and put them into a jar. This is about a litre size jar, but you can use whatever size jar that you've got available. And then we're going to take 2 teaspoons of sugar. And so you can use any sugar here. We've got some fair trade organic cane sugar. You can use brown sugar, you can use white sugar. Ideally, don't use any artificial sweeteners. We want it to be the real sugar because that is what is going to feed this thing. So we've got 1, 2, and then we're just going to fill this up with filtered water. I'm going to leave a little bit of headroom here because this will start to get fizzy. So we want to make sure that there's enough room for that gas to start to build up without putting too much pressure on the jar. Once it's inside, you're just going to give it a real good stir up. Beautiful. Pop the lid on. It needs to be an airtight lid. And then this is going to sit somewhere on your side, out of direct sunlight, just room temperature for 24 hours. Now, with this, again, this is going to be something that you're going to need to tend to for the next few days. So after 24 hours, what you're going to do is you are going to come back and you're going to put another teaspoon of sugar inside and also maybe about an inch or so of ginger. And that is going to feed the bacteria that are starting to grow. And you're going to do that every day for the next kind of 4, maybe 7 days until you start to see this really start to bubble up. You might get some foamy bubbles at the top. It might smell a little bit yeasty, and that's when you know that this is ready to use. So when you're at that stage, what you'll do is you will simply strain out the ginger from here, and then you're going to be left with that lovely fermented ginger bug liquid. And what you can do with that, well, you can go ahead and have small sips of that throughout your day or throughout your week as just like a nice little probiotic boost. It gives me this like inner fuzzy feeling inside. Or you can go ahead and mix that liquid with your favorite juice, leave that again on the side at room temperature for maybe 2 or 3 days, and you're going to make your very own fermented fizzy drink essentially that is gut friendly, super healthy, and tastes incredible. I like to do this with orange juice and it's amazing. One thing to note, if you are making your own juice, as things start to ferment when you put it in the juice, things do ferment pretty fast, so make sure that you're going in and burping it, which just means opening up the bottle and then closing it again to let the gases be released. Otherwise, you might have a little bit of an explosion on your hands. If you want to, you can continue to let this process go on for more than 4 to 7 days. You can let it go on for quite a long amount of time. You will just need to keep feeding it sugar every day, a little bit of ginger, and what you might find is you'll have to take some of that old ginger out to make space for the fresher ones, and you also might want to top it up with water. Now, if you leave this too long or if you forget about it, you might find that it turns into a little bit of an alcohol or a little bit of a vinegar. So do keep an eye on it, do remember it. I like to think about kind of, it's almost like a Tamagotchi. You've got to care for it each and every day. So enjoy with this. It is super, super simple. And if you come up with your own creative recipe, please feel welcome to share it with me.